The night my wife crossed the line, I quietly walked out and never looked back. The lights inside the Crestmore Hotel ballroom were dimmed just enough to make every sparkle, every polished heel and watch glint a little more sharply. It was 7:10 when we walked in. Alicia liked to be late. Not by much. Just enough to be noticed. She wore a dark emerald dress that curved like it was tailored for seduction, and every step she took invited attention. She lived for that glow, the second when heads turned. And truthfully, I didn't mind. She was beautiful and I was proud to walk beside her. But that night wasn't just any evening out. It was my company's annual awards gala. One of those everyone smiles while secretly networking kind of events. I'd just been promoted to Director of Security Systems. Not exactly front-page news, but it was the biggest moment in my professional life. I wanted her there beside me, supportive, proud. She stayed for maybe 9 minutes. I was near the bar with a soda water, keeping it light. That's when I spotted her across the room. Alicia was laughing too loudly at something Ron said. Ron from DevOps. He was younger, cocky, always flexing those gym-built biceps in polos a size too small. I watched her lean in close, her hand brushing his arm once. Then again. She twirled a strand of hair between her fingers. My first instinct wasn't anger. It was awareness. You don't spend over a decade in cybersecurity without learning how to read behavioral patterns. What I saw wasn't harmless. It was a flag. When we sat for dinner, Alicia acted like nothing had happened. She picked at her plate, made a comment about the dry chicken, and spent more time on her phone than acknowledging the promotion her husband had just received. That night, in the back seat of the Uber, I waited. But once we got home, I spoke. Were you getting a little too comfortable with Ron tonight? She unclipped her earrings, eyes fixed on the mirror. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, it didn't look like just friendly conversation. She finally turned to face me. Her tone was flat, cold. If you feel threatened every time I smile at someone, that's your problem. Dismissive. Instant. No hesitation, no reflection. Just pure deflection. I'm not threatened, I said. I just didn't think you'd act that way. Not at my event. Alicia laughed softly. Not in a sweet way. More like I was an idiot she was too tired to deal with. You need to loosen up. I was being polite. I didn't push further. I just filed it away. A new log in the system. Another signal. Over the next couple of weeks, things shifted, subtly at first. She started working from coffee shops instead of the kitchen, claiming she needed a change of scenery. Her freelance writing gigs gave her flexibility, but she was always home before. Now she'd disappear for hours. Her laptop stayed closed when I walked in. No more chats at bedtime. No more asking how my day went. I was still footing the bills. Still in the same apartment. But I was background noise now. Unnecessary. One night, after working late, I came home to find her laptop open on the couch. She'd stepped out to take a call. The screen was still on, dim but unlocked. I hesitated. Then I looked. It was her Instagram messages with Ron. Not explicit but layered. Intimate. Familiar. You always know how to make me laugh. Don't tempt me. Still thinking about our little secret. Our little secret. I closed the laptop and set it down like I'd seen nothing. Later, while she brushed her hair in the mirror, I said, "Are you still messaging Ron?" She stopped. "Excuse me. Your laptop was open. I saw the messages. I wasn't digging. They were just there." Her eyes narrowed. "So now you're spying on me?" I asked a question. She spun around, hands on her hips like she was posing for a scene. "You're so controlling. I laughed with someone, and now I'm under interrogation." I didn't answer. I just watched her. That bothered her more than anything. She stormed out of the room. I didn't follow. A few days later, it was Mia's rooftop birthday party, one of Alicia's influencer friends. When I got home, she was already dressed in a tight red dress and heels I'd never seen before. Barely spoke on the drive there. The second we walked into the rooftop bar, she lit up like a stage light. Arms out, kisses in the air, and straight to Ron. He was there. I lingered by the drinks table, nursing another soda water, and watched. She hugged him like she hadn't seen him in months. Her hand lingered on his chest when she made a point. He whispered something in her ear. She laughed. That laugh. The one she used to save for me. His hand slid down to her back. She didn't stop him. We left not long after. The ride home was pure silence. When we got inside, she began removing her necklace like it was just another night. I stood in the hallway. I need you to listen. Really listen. What you did tonight, that wasn't okay. She didn't even turn around. Still going on about this. I saw him touch you. I saw you let him. She paused, then turned to me, her eyes dead. If you don't like it, the door's right there. No fear. No tears. Just cold. You don't have to stay, Mark. Nobody's begging you. And just like that I knew. I didn't argue. He nodded. Thanks for the reminder. She rolled her eyes and left the room. That night I didn't sleep. But I wasn't anxious. I was planning. Over the next 72 hours, I moved every asset I could from our shared accounts. Transferred bills. Cancelled what couldn't be switched. Made backup copies of everything important. The lease was in my name. I paid one more month's rent, then that was it. She never noticed. Too busy curating fake smiles on Instagram. On the fourth morning I packed a suitcase. My laptop, a few clothes, essentials. I left my keys and a note on the kitchen counter. You were right. The door's right there. I used it. By 8 a.m., I was in a furnished sublet across town. It wasn't fancy, but it was mine. The silence there didn't feel like tension. It felt earned. 2 days later I turned on my phone. Missed calls. Dozens of texts. Monica was spiraling. You really just left. That's childish. You could have at least talked to me first. But she didn't want a conversation. She wanted control. 3 days after that I got a DM from one of her friends. Oofy. Casual, almost careless. Wait. Didn't you guys already break up? That's what Alicia told us weeks ago. Froze. Wait, what? Yeah. She said you two were on the rocks. She was testing the waters. So the whole thing had been a setup. Alicia had been laying the groundwork. Planting her version of the story. The breakup wasn't a surprise. She just didn't expect me to leave first. Later that night, my buddy Trevor sent me a screenshot. She posted a breakup slideshow. Bro caption says she's heartbroken and tried her best. The comment section. Men can't handle strong women. You'll rise again, queen. I didn't respond. Didn't post a rebuttal. I just blocked her and disappeared from her audience. This wasn't revenge. This was release. A week later she showed up at my office. Receptionist buzzed me. Alicia's downstairs. Says it's urgent. I looked through the glass. There she was. Arms folded. Sunglasses. Still playing the role. I didn't go down. Called the desk. If she refuses to leave, call security. 10 minutes later, I watched her get escorted out. She yelled something on the way out. I didn't hear it. Didn't care. She emailed me that night. The Wi-Fi's not working. You're being petty. I replied. Utilities are in my name. So was the lease. You wanted freedom, manage it. Weeks passed. The only messages after that came through her lawyer. Divorce was in progress. The apartment. Now. She was crashing at her sister's. Rumor had it she'd taken a job at a mall. Retail floor. Folding clothes under fluorescent lights. The audience had moved on. How had I? I didn't start dating right away. I didn't need to. But eventually I did meet someone. Someone real. Someone who listened. I never told her about Alicia. Not in detail. Just that it ended. And it had to. One day, while decorating my new place, I hung up a framed quote above the door. Black letters. White background. If you're unhappy, the door's right there. She meant it as a challenge. I took it as truth. And I walked through.